What a mad 24 hours. Pochettino out, Mourinho in. Here are the thoughts of the fans. So what a 24 hours we have had as Tottenham fans. This time yesterday, Mauricio Pochettino was our manager. Then at 7:30 last night, we got the club announcement that Mauricio Pochettino had been sacked from the club. And then early this morning, 6:30, Jose Mourinho has stepped in as manager until 2023. What do I make of the news? Very sad at first, very shocked, very surprised. I know that some people would say that it was on the cards, the results weren't as they should have been, throughout 2019. But after all, Mauricio Pochettino got us to a Champions League final, didn't spend any money in 500 days, and the credit that man deserves is just incredible. A fantastic guy, a fantastic manager, and he has provided us Tottenham fans with some fantastic moments that we will all never ever forget. For instance, the game away at Manchester City, Champions League, the game away at Ajax in particular, incredible. Some incredible nights at Wembley Stadium in the Champions League, beating the Champions League holders, Real Madrid. The list is endless of what that man achieved at the football club. Not forgetting as well that he'd been manager for 5 full seasons at the club, and for the last 4 seasons he got Champions League football, including a couple of runs, trying to win the Premier League. So fair play to Mauricio Pochettino. I have full respect for the guy, an absolutely brilliant manager, and I wish him all the best for the future. Now on to Jose Mourinho. Was I surprised? A tad, yes. I still don't know how to take it, actually. I really don't. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings from Tottenham fans. I still have mixed feelings about it. The only thing that I do say about Jose Mourinho is he is a serial winner. Everything he seems to touch turns into a trophy. Even when he had a poor Man United side, he won the League Cup and the Europa League in his first full season at the club. So I'm fully expecting that Jose Mourinho will deliver at Tottenham and will deliver a much needed trophy that we desperately need. We haven't won a League Cup since 2008. We haven't won an FA Cup since 1991, and we haven't won a top flight division since 1961. So all 3 of those are way overdue, and of course we haven't won a European trophy since 1984. So way overdue on the trophy front. If Jose Mourinho can deliver us a trophy, of course it will put everyone in a much better mood. I know people are worried about the quality of football, but let's just hope that we see the Jose Mourinho who, when he first come to England and managed Chelsea, they were playing some good, attractive football, scored lots of goals, and won virtually everything under him. So let's hope that we get that Jose Mourinho rather than the one that was, say, at Manchester United, his last job. It's weird, though, how Jose Mourinho's first job is West Ham United away, because that was Mauricio Pochettino's first job, first competitive game for Tottenham back in August 2014 when Eric Dyer got that last-minute winner. We haven't won away in the Premier League for 10 months, and Jose Mourinho is now in as manager, so we have to fully back the manager. We have to back the decision, and after all, we are Tottenham Hotspur fans. We are not. I know we all love Mauricio Pochettino, but ultimately we want to focus on the future of the club and support whatever is happening. So let's hope that all of the fans get behind Mourinho on Saturday and we get that much needed win. It's a great start for Mourinho because he's got 3 games in 1 week. In his first week, West Ham United away, Olympiacos at home, and then Bournemouth at home. If he strung 3 good results together for those 3 games, it would really kickstart his career as Tottenham boss.
What a 24 hours for Tottenham Hotspur. So sad to see Mauricio Pochettino leave, but I think the writing was on the wall. On a personal level, I think after the Brighton defeat, I thought it was time. I was probably in a little bit of denial as the weeks went on, in the odd Champions League win here and there, and you think they were getting back on track, but it wasn't happening. I think Sheffield United performance really made me think it could be time for a change. So Jose Mourinho's in. It divided opinion, I think, this morning, but I've been at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium throughout the day, and every single supporter seems delighted with the news. I must say, he looks fresh, he looks ready to go. He's brought in 5 new coaches who... a few he's not worked with before, a potential new sporting director to come in as well. So I think it's exciting times, and you've already looked at the training videos today with the players, the likes of Harry Kane, Dele Alli look raring to go. So I think it's good. I think it's good for all. I think it'd be good for Pochettino as well. As long as he doesn't move up the road, I think it'd be best for all concerned. So it's a new era at Tottenham, starting at West Ham on Saturday. And I think it's time for Spurs fans to be excited.
Right, so hi Chris and viewers, listeners. It's a quick video from me just to kind of sum up where my thoughts are on the appointment of Jose Mourinho. I still can't believe I'm actually saying it out loud. Absolutely crazy. What has it been now? 15 hours, 16 hours or so to sack one of the best managers we've had in the modern era for Tottenham Hotspur, a great club. Still trying to process that information, let alone the fact that I've just seen on social media from Spurs official Jose Mourinho holding up a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. It's just utterly crazy, utterly crazy. I think, look, to be honest, if I put my positive spin on everything, I'm absolutely gutted that Mauricio has left. I wish him the best of luck. What he's done for us has been amazing. But to look at the Jose appointment, he's a winner. He might park the bus. He might be playing boring football, and he might only last for 2 years before carnage assumes into this club. But he'll probably end up winning something for us, and for the majority of the Spurs fans, that's probably what we want and what we need. I think it'll be a crazy journey over these next 2.5 years. I know he signed a 3.5-year contract, but he won't see that out. So, and hopefully the players will respond. Harry Kane's, Dele Alli's, Son's, Lamella's, the people, Harry Winks signed long-term contracts at the club. Ben Davis, hopefully they won't look at this as a backward step per se. How can you do when the guy's won 34 trophies in his entire career? He is a winner, and I think that well, let's see. The proof is in the pudding. We have to get behind the club. We have to get behind the team. The board have made their decision, and let's see what we can do with a massive 3 points coming our way on Saturday. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. Jace from South Dorset Spurs. Just a quick video reflecting on the last 24 hours at Tottenham Hotspur and what's been going on with their manager's situation. I have to say, last night, culmination of a couple of days rumours that Poch would be on his way, but last night, devastating news that the manager was going. I have to say, got to pay tribute to Poch. This last 5 years, he's turned us into one of the best clubs in the world. We've had some of the best times as fans, certainly the journey from the old stadium, that last year at White Hart Lane, being unbeaten at home and beating a very good Man United at the end of the season to close it all off. Seeing Pochettino on the pitch with what I thought was a tear in his eye, and then moving on to Wembley, the whole couple of years of experience of that, almost 2 years. Some of the best football we've played in years. Eriksen, Dele, Kane, the rest of the team were just on fire for that, certainly that first season at Wembley. And just the guy was entwined in our DNA for the last 5 years. It made everybody proud to either wear the shirt as a fan or players to wear the shirt as against some of the best teams in the world, you know, thrashing the likes of Madrid and Liverpool and Man United. But football is a results-driven business, and unfortunately the results over the last year haven't been good enough. I went to Everton away, and we were at that point 9.5 months without an away win. We were so close, but a little bit of extra time, 12 minutes, meant that unfortunately we didn't get that away win, and of course we all know what happened against Sheffield United. I, for one, and certainly many of our members in South Dorset Spurs are absolutely gutted that Poch is gone. But what can we do? We have to support the team. We have to move on. And legacy of Poch means that we've attracted one of the best managers, most high-profile managers in the world. He has been divisive. He's divisive at Chelsea. He's divisive at Manchester United. But he has an opportunity now to turn things around for us, himself, and maybe we can have a trophy to show off. Certainly it won't be the Carling Cup. It will be something reasonably high profile like the FA Cup, or even better, the Champions League. We can dream again, can't we? But thank you, Poch. Some of the best days, certainly that moment in the Oak when Mora put that ball away against Ajax. Most of us are in tears. Just the best time ever, and we wish you well for the future. Come on, you Spurs.
Expressions here, large up C squared, Chris Gowling, my brother, you know. But bro, it's been a stressful 24 hours. I'm not even going to lie. Mauricio Pochettino has been sacked by Tottenham, and I can't say I'm shocked. Well, actually, no, I am shocked, because when you look at like Emery, Ollie, and our situation, obviously Pochettino, we've got the emotional attachment towards him. He's done a lot more for us than their managers have done for them. So yeah, Daniel Levy's must have the biggest set of balls like in Tottenham right now. You know what I mean? For him to turn around and just sack Pochettino because of his form, like towards the end of last season and this season, because he did come out and say that, and I even said it towards the end of last season. We almost capitulated. We should have had that third spot wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? But Chelsea took that, and then we ended up fighting for fourth. You know what I mean? We got to the Champions League final, had our hearts broken, and it's like, you know what I mean? We never got back on Tinder and started swiping again. We just literally stayed in the rut. You know what I mean? Literally stayed in the rut, and the results have been poor this season. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just talking about the 7 against Bayern. Everyone can have bad games. You know what I mean? All the 3 against Brighton, the 10 in the week. But it's like, it's not improving. You know what I mean? We're playing relegation teams and making them look like superstars. You know what I mean? Making them look like some FIFA All-Star Elite team. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Poch lost the dressing room. I don't know if the players are revolting against Levy, but if you're revolting against Levy, you come out and say something. You don't make your manager look like that, you know what I mean? Because when you're on the pitch, you're performing for the club, the manager, and the fans, you know what I'm saying? So if it's a thing where you never had a problem with Poch and you're playing like that, I can't forgive that, you know what I'm saying? And with the players that have come out and they're wishing him the best wishes, thanking him for everything he's done, rah, rah, rah. A lot of the players have been coming out. I want to know where that energy was when you were on the pitch, fam. Like, honestly, I'm not everyone, you know what I'm saying? Because you can tell the players that gave their heart every game. You know what I mean? The Miniestas, the Sons, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go through a list, because then you lot will be like, what about him? What about him? I'm not going to go through the list, innit? But yeah, like, for me, it's not good enough, innit? I feel that Poch was just made to walk the plank. I'm not saying it's not his fault, because you can only blame the players for so long. What's the manager doing in training? But for me, like, it hurts. I'm upset that he's gone. I am upset that he's gone, but I feel we did need a change. As for bringing in Mourinho and his backroom staff of TFL buses, planes, coaches, all of that, I don't even know what to say. Like, Mourinho is a man that, you know what I'm saying, he's a bit of a character. That's one thing I can say. He may come out and say, oh, like, if it goes wrong, he may come out and say, oh, what have Tottenham won? What have I won? Like, he could throw us under the bus. That's the sort of character that Mourinho is. But at the same time, he knows how to win. We haven't won a trophy in Yonkers. That's pretty much it, innit? Like, we've seen the attractive football under Poch in stages and that, the champagne football. Now we need a trophy for me. Like, we need to lift something, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking getting a gym membership. I'm trying to lift something that does not require a gym membership. I want a trophy. That's what I want.
Look, I'm very disappointed that Mauricio Pochettino has been sacked as Tottenham manager. It's a huge gamble. I think we're losing a massive talent in Mauricio. I felt as though he was still the man to turn the club around. I felt as though he'd be given the chance in January to go and improve the squad, and then hopefully again do the same in the summer. But obviously that's not the case. But what he did for us over these last 5 years has been absolutely incredible. I mean, for any manager, it was going to be a very difficult task to lead the club through this time where there's going to be extreme limitations with the stadium costing so much. And that's obviously what Mauricio Pochettino had to face. And I think many managers would have regressed the team. But instead, Pochettino took us forward and made us even better. And took us to places that I don't think Spurs fans maybe ever thought they could go. Title challenges, Champions League final.
and of course played some incredible football. So I'm absolutely gutted to see Mauricio go. I mean, but it might be the right decision. You know, you don't know what's gone on behind the scenes in terms of whether Mauricio still felt he was the right man to keep going with the club. But, you know, we've taken a massive gamble, as I said, and we've done so with bringing in Jose Mourinho. This run could really go either one of two ways. It could be a real disaster. Of course, he's been accused of playing negative, boring football at Manchester United. He did tarnish his reputation there, but he is a guy that does know how to win, and I do feel that now he's in London, he'll be much more settled. I think that he's working with a much more talented squad than he was at Manchester United, so I think that's certainly going to help. But maybe it's what Spurs need, and it's very difficult being such a big Pochettino fan to say that, but maybe we needed this guy, a guy that knows how to win, that's ruthless, and who knows, Jose Mourinho could be the right appointment for us, but yeah, it's very difficult to tell at this stage, but you just hope that he can bring trophies to Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm fully behind him.
I think, like the majority of fans, I'm absolutely devastated to see Pochettino leave the club. And like, well, I can see the reasoning behind it from the club's point of view, with obviously the dreadful run of form we've had this year. We all know those stats about having not won an away game since January. We picked up 24 points in our last 25 league games. The run of form certainly has been going on longer than the kind of general viewing of it has been, because it's been since January. That run where, you know, we lost to Burnley, Southampton, Chelsea, Bournemouth in the league. It's been a dreadful run, and it's just kind of come to the fore now that that Champions League campaign is over, and this is what we're focusing on. And even our Champions League results have suffered this season. It is absolutely devastating to see Pochettino go, a man who has given absolutely everything to this club, and it kind of hurts to see that the loyalty he showed to our club, turning down teams like Man United and Real Madrid, it just wasn't repaid, and it's never nice to see that in football. And as we've seen from the players, and they're speaking out on social media in the last 12 or so hours, we know they do feel the same way. And while the board are talking about this potential toxic atmosphere in the training ground, I think Pochettino would have been the man to fix that. But, you know, it's too late for that now. It is Jose Mourinho who's the man who's at the helm. A lot of fans were calling for him over the last couple of weeks, and it could turn out to be an amazing appointment. It could turn out to be a really bad appointment. We won't know, because we know how inconsistent Mourinho is with these jobs. The one thing that's really concerning me is that we know Pini Zahavi, the super agent, he's been in talks with Daniel Levy for about 3 weeks now, and the line that we're hearing is Zahavi was convincing Daniel Levy that Mourinho is the right man for Tottenham, and that's not what I want to hear. I want to hear Daniel Levy went out, he found the ideal candidate, and he convinced the manager that Tottenham is the right club for him, but that's not what happened. And it's a sticky situation we find ourselves in at the moment, but look, I'm not 100% behind this, but I will fully support the manager. You know, we don't have any choice. He's the man who's in charge of our club now. And I obviously just hope it works out.
Hi guys, oh my days, where do I start? What a mad 24 hours it's been. When I saw the news that Pochettino had been sacked, my heart completely dropped. It felt like a bit of me had died. I was so upset. I could see the reasons why he's been sacked. The form in the last 18 months has been nothing short of dreadful, but I thought that he deserved the chance to kind of get that rebuild he wanted, the rebuild that he's been talking about for so long, and kind of press on that and, you know, last the season, get the build that he wants in the summer and kind of kick on from there. But obviously it wasn't to be. If you asked me a week ago or even a day ago that would I want Pochettino to be sacked and Mourinho to come in, I would think you're an idiot, and I'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, why would you want Pochettino to go to get someone like Mourinho who's been poisonous at other clubs and what have you and that kind of stuff? But having let it sunk in now, and having to think about it properly, I really think it's a good move, and I think it's so crazy it might just work, and I think it's what the squad's been calling out for. I think they need a kind of experienced manager in there, someone that's been there, someone that's done it, to kind of come in and get them over that line. Obviously, Pochettino was an absolutely amazing manager for this club, and I commend him and thank him for everything he's done to this club. You know, best night of my life in Ajax in Amsterdam, all the brilliant nights out in Barcelona, getting to FA Cup semi-finals, finishing in the top four consistently above Arsenal. The list goes on because the guy has just got such a special place in all our hearts. And it's hard to see that he's not going to be our manager anymore, but it's happened now, and you just got to look forward. And what I can see looking forward is a manager. He's got big shoes to fill, and he's also got a reputation to keep as well. So I think it's really important that Jose Mourinho for himself is successful in this role. Not just for us. And I think he wouldn't be coming to Tottenham if he didn't have the assurances from Daniel Levy that he will have a budget to spend. He's brought a director of football in potentially that is one of the best in the world, who earthed Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial and players like that at Monaco. So I think the whole system is there for Jose to succeed. And I think the players will look up to him, and the players who haven't got over the line for this club will be looking at him and looking up at him as a player who can get over the line, or a manager that can get over the line. So I'm hopeful looking to the future. I think it's a really good appointment. I don't think it's a long-term appointment, but I think it's an appointment that you know, Jose will come in, steady the ship, and hopefully get us some silverware. And then when Jose is done at the club, then we can look back to getting a more younger, progressive manager to manage a bunch of players who hopefully would have got over the line and won some silverware. But anyway, that's my take on it. At first I was very depressed about the situation, but now having thought about it, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Obviously, I'd like to thank Pochettino for everything he's done. He's always welcome back at Tottenham. He has a special place in my heart, and I'm sure he has a special place in a lot of your hearts as well. But let's not dwell on the past, and let's look forward to the future. Jose Mourinho, new head coach of Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs.
So last night, Tottenham Hotspur sacked Mauricio Pochettino. How am I feeling? My first impression was, yes, I was gutted. But it has been very hard to watch Tottenham this season. Our results have been poor, and we haven't won away in the Premier League since January of 2019. Fulham away. Yes, I'm not too happy that Mourinho is in charge, but like I did say to a Chelsea fan a few weeks ago, if Tottenham want to move on to the next level, then we need to employ someone like Mourinho, a proven winner. His CV backs him up 100%. Is he going to spend big? Will Daniel Levy give him the money in January? January will be a massive month for the club, and seeing what players sign, don't sign, re-sign, any youth team players that he brings forward will be very, very interesting. I can't thank Mauricio enough. Yes, we got to a Champions League final against Liverpool. A disappointing result. Yes, I can understand that. But moving forward, whilst we're going in the right direction, 14th in the Premier League doesn't back that up for me. Like I say, it was very difficult to watch Watford at home, Sheffield United at home, Everton away on the TV. I know Son got sent off, and that wasn't Mauricio's fault. But like many other fans, I find it quite difficult to watch Tottenham this season. The Champions League games have masked our sort of team this season, especially away. We come away with a 4-0 in our last game, and we scored 5 at home in the Champions League. But yeah, thank you very much, Mauricio and his management team. Let's look forward to the rest of the season and up the Spurs.
I think it's really bad that he's left.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
Hey Chris, it's Melvin from Malta. Pochettino's been sacked. I don't think it's the correct decision. I think that it was a decision taken by Levy's pocket and not his mind or his heart. I would have personally never sacked a manager who took us from a top 5 club to Champions League finalists, constantly being in the Champions League, constantly winning London derbies, we've become normal to this, beating Real Madrid, beating top elite teams in Europe. But now we have the special one, but we lost a loved one, the loved one. Mauricio Pochettino, thank you for everything you have done. 5 years at Spurs. It's been a roller coaster ride. I have memories that I will never forget. Thank you. You made us believe that football is about heart and passion and not money and greed. Pochettino is massive in our family because in 2017 I had the opportunity of going to the Tottenham fans forum where I asked him, instead of a question, I asked if I could give him a hug. He came down and hugged not only me but my father and my sister. When we traveled, I traveled from Malta and he traveled from Canada, and we met in London. It will be one of my best memories because they say never meet your hero, but when you meet Pochettino, the man oozes class. I wish him the very best wherever he goes. I hope he doesn't go anywhere in the Premier League because I would hate to see him at a rival club. I wish him the very best wherever he goes because I'm pretty sure the man will be a champion at one day. He will win wherever he will go. He's got the determination and the experience now to win at an elite club. I wish to see him maybe at Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich, but nowhere near the Premier League. I wish him the very best and thank you to all his staff. And come on, you Spurs.
Hi everyone, Chris has asked me to give my views on Poch leaving and Mourinho replacing him. I think with Poch, it's really sad to see him go. I did think he'd get more time, but as a football club, it probably is the right decision. People probably won't want to accept it that much. The way he's gone is awful. I think it hasn't been a nice sending off for him from the club. I think a few of the players sort of gave up on him in the end. That's really bad to see. It's quite a disgrace, to be honest. But aside from that, I think it was coming. The domestic results just haven't been where they need to be honest. The thing about, I haven't won away in the league since January. The points, just over 20 points from 26 league games in 2019. It's not good for a good reading. I think without the Champions League, he probably would have gone sooner, to be honest. But I do think for sticking with us for those 5 years, he deserved until Christmas, at least until the January transfer window. But just saying that, we've definitely got the best replacement possible. I can't think of anyone else I would have rather had than Mourinho of who's available. I think it's very good that he's obviously had Mourinho lined up for a while. They've been saying about since Watford, just over 3 weeks ago, that they've been talking to him. So I'm very happy about Mourinho coming in. Obviously, it's sad about the situation with Poch, but if anyone was to come in, I'm happy that it is Mourinho and not someone else. It would have been a shame for Poch to go and us to hire someone, with not as much as ambition as him. But Mourinho, he said in the past how he wants to go to a club of ambition. He's come to us now. I'm sure that the players are going to back him. And the main thing I want to see from Mourinho is the fact that any player who slacks, any player who doesn't give him a all, they're going to drop him. He's got no loyalty. Players like Eriksen who just don't give it their all. If they have a bad game, he won't play the next game. So, Mourinho, I'm happy he's in. Shame about Poch, but that's football at the end of the day. If you don't put in the performances, then something's got to change. And, so all the best for Mourinho, and come on, you Spurs.
Hi guys, this is just a video discussing the events of the last 24 hours at Tottenham Hotspur. It's been absolutely crazy, as you all know, and I just wanted to place on record my thanks to Mauricio Pochettino. The news yesterday came as a real shock to me, and I'm still sort of in mourning now. It does feel like a close friend or family member has passed away, and it's going to take some time to get used to. Mauricio, he came into the club, he made one promise to us all, and that was that he was going to make us feel proud, and by God did he do that. He made beating Arsenal become normal, finishing above them become normal, qualifying for the Champions League 4 times in a row. Mauricio delivered things that I just never thought possible supporting my club, and he gave me some real highs. I look back at that memorable night against Ajax, Lucas Moura, wow. Seeing my team come out in a Champions League final, and he always did everything with the utmost class, dignity and respect. So his sacking yesterday did come as a real shock to me. I did think he'd get more time, and I'm very disappointed in the board at Tottenham Hotspur. Normally I'm very supportive of the board and the club as a whole, but on this instance I felt like Mauricio should have been given more time to turn this around. You know, he's only put us on an upward curve during his 4, 5, 6 years at the club, and to now suddenly turn that on him when he's had plenty of opportunities to go off and manage the likes of Real Madrid, Manchester United. You know, we are 14th, but we're 1 win away from being 5th in the table. We've played a lot of the big sides away already, with the easier games to come at home in the business end of the season. We're 1 win against Olympiacos away from qualifying for the Champions League last 16. So I do think that the club have gone early on this, and I'm very disappointed that we've lost, you know, the best generation, the best manager of my generation certainly, and someone that really carried the ethics and beliefs of Tottenham Hotspur and what I want to see in a manager. Mauricio and his team delivered that every day. So I'm still very disappointed, and I'm not really at the point yet of accepting that we've got another man in charge. That will take some time, and I probably will only really believe it on Saturday when Jose Mourinho leads the side out at West Ham. That's a huge game now. You know, we need to all get behind him. I've been the biggest Pochettino supporter there is, and I'm obviously gutted and devastated about the news, but having had 24 hours to reflect, I do feel slightly more understanding of the situation now, shall I say, and I'm just hopeful that we can, you know, move forward for the season and continue to work our way up the table, because we need to. You know, we can't stay in 14th, we have to move up that league table, and a huge game to come on Saturday. So, you know, Pochettino, just one more time, thank you for everything you've done for this club. You know, you've made me proud to wear my shirt, you've made me proud to support my club in England and across Europe, and you've given me the highs of my Tottenham career, so just a heartfelt thank you, and I hope we cross paths again soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Well, here we are a few hours later after the departure of Pochettino and the arrival of the great white hope that is Jose Mourinho. Very strange day, really, isn't it? I don't think any of us expected the sort of day that we've had. I think the first thing to actually say is probably we owe Poch a great debt of gratitude, because whether we actually like Mourinho or not, he is actually a winner. And the fact that 5 years ago he probably wouldn't have even considered coming to Tottenham, we were just not big enough for him. It shows that we've actually moved on an awful lot in that time, that we actually are now somebody that is worthy of the great hope that is Jose Mourinho. I think the players have got an awful lot to answer for on this one. I don't think they will be surprised at all about this. But I think it could be a really good time. It could be a really rocky road for the next couple of years, because could you imagine Mourinho and Daniel Levy? That's going to be some interesting meetings in there, isn't there? But we can win some things, and we're actually there saying we ain't going to win anything. We can't win anything. I think we'll win something either this year or certainly next year, as long as Mourinho stays that long, which there will be a doubt about that one, I should imagine. But how exciting. I mean, we've been the talk of the sports media for the last few hours, and yeah, we're a major player now. So what the first thing I'm actually going to do, I'm going to raise a toast to Poch and Mourinho and the great club that is Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs.
Well, yesterday's sad news was the news I feared, but the news that I've said for the last few weeks I think had to happen. I think when you lose 7-2 to Bayern, you have to follow that with a response, and to lose 3-0 to Brighton in a shambolic performance. I know Hugo was injured, but we'd already seen Lamela not press the ball and the intensity not there from kick-off. You follow that with 1-1 at home to Watford, where we're lucky to get a point. I felt that the signs were there that he'd lost that dressing room, and I think when it came to the Sheffield United game and you see the lack of intensity in the side, and that was pretty much with players that do want to be there, then the warning signs were there. So I think I'd said it's probably time for the change. I thought it would happen after West Ham, but sadly I never wanted it to be a sacking. I always hoped that we'd part on amicable terms. I think he deserved that. He did everything that he set out to do, set us up with pride and put us into a position going into that stadium of Champions League football. So he did the job. And I'll never forget the 1st of June, that feeling of waking up that day as Champions League finalists, the day over at Tottenham, the fantastic scenes around Tottenham High Road that day. It was a really, really special day, perhaps the most special day we've had in my times as a Spurs fan. So for that, I'll always be grateful, and I'm just sad that it's ended the way it does. The disappointment of the news for me is the man that's taken over. I can't stand him, I can't stand the football, I can't stand the moaning, the fixture chaos that will be blamed, the referees that will be blamed, the board that will be blamed. It will always be someone else's fault other than him. And I fear that the most likely trophy to win for him is the Carabao Cup. But we're 16 months away from the first final of the Carabao Cup he can be in. And I think in 16 months' time we'll already be tired of the boredom and the dross of parking the buses at 1-0 away wins. For me, I want us to win trophies like every fan does. It's important we win trophies, and we have to start winning them. It's been too long. But for me, you win them with style. Not the George Graham way, not the Wendy Ramos way. I took no great pleasure in those. Yes, they go down on the books, but they weren't what I call the special nights, like the Anderlecht nights that I had, and like the Man City and the QPR nights, and obviously the time in Bill Nick's time. So for me, it feels like a Wonga loan. We're so desperate for something, we've taken the ugliest possible route to it, in the hope that it's the most guaranteed route. I don't think it's guaranteed, and I fear the damage long after the hope has gone. But we'll see. I don't want to be an angry fan for the next 2 years. People say get behind him, and I feel like I'll be behind him when he's by the exit door, but I won't be behind him until then. But I understand the quest for a trophy. I understand what the club's done. I can see why it's him. I'm sure he appeals to many, but for me, it's like selling your soul down the river. We've sold out on every single principle that Bill Nick put into the club for a desperate man that might win us a League Cup. Not for me, sorry.
Hi Chris, this is Brian Moore from the Los Angeles Spurs, your friend in Los Angeles. I just wanted to say I was very disappointed about Pochettino being fired yesterday from Tottenham Hotspur, but I think with the appointment of Jose Mourinho being brought in today, we're looking forward to very exciting times ahead at Tottenham. I'm really looking forward to the weekend now, and actually going on to win the Champions League this season. So come on you Spurs.
What a crazy day for Tottenham Hotspur. Incredible 16 hours, which has seen us part company with Mauricio Pochettino, I should say, sacked by Tottenham Hotspur's board. I personally felt he was going to get more time, I think, for what he achieved at the football club domestically, where he's taken Tottenham to and from. And also when you look at the fact that Champions League run where we didn't spend a penny for 500 days, I think I was surprised to see Mauricio not being given more time. But in Jose Mourinho, Tottenham Hotspur have appointed a proven track record winner. Wherever he's been, you look where he's been in terms of the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, he's always won trophies, and big trophies along with that. Premier League, Champions League. He's an incredible man. He comes obviously with a reputation where he plays a pragmatic style of football, shuts the game up. Some will argue at the moment that's exactly what Tottenham need. And it's going to be interesting to see over these next couple of months just how he is going to change the football club. I think you may see some of those once-away players, the likes of Christian Eriksen, Danny Rose, Serge Aurier, Christian Eriksen, Toby Alderweireld. Potentially, they may now look to reconsider their future, and even potentially Mourinho may even change their mind and want to bring them back in to the first team fold on a regular basis. I think it is an exciting appointment for Tottenham. When you look at the prestige of that man, there is absolutely no way Tottenham Hotspur would have been able to appoint Jose Mourinho if it had not been for the wonderful work which Mauricio Pochettino laid in place. And I think what I will say on Mauricio is that it's an absolute travesty for me that he leaves his football club without achieving any form of trophy for what he's brought to the club, which was being proud again. And that's the one thing he promised. And hopefully Jose Mourinho is the man to deliver the trophies, but we shouldn't always forget that Mauricio Pochettino was the man that laid that foundation in the first place.